and then we're good.
Okay. So I'm going to be reading from the Message translation. I don't know if many of you guys have read from that translation. It was written or translated by Eugene Peterson, who wanted to make the particular verse actually has a lot of, I don't know, kind of slang words would be the way to think of it. But I think it helps to reiterate and go into what I want to talk about today, at least. So this is Psalm 16, the Message translation. Keep me safe, O God. I've run for dear life to you. I say to God, be my Lord, because without you, nothing makes sense. And these God-chosen lives all around, what splendid friends they make. Don't just go shopping for a God. Gods are not for sale. I swear I'll never treat God names like brand names. My choice is you, God, first and only, and now I find I'm your choice. You set me up with a house and a yard, and then you made me your heir. The wise counsel God gives when I'm awake is confirmed by my sleeping heart. Day and night, I'll stick with God. I've got a good thing going, and I'm not letting go. I'm happy from the inside out, and from the outside in, I'm firmly formed. You canceled my ticket to hell. That's not my destination. Now you've got my feet on the life path, all radiant from the shining of your face. Ever since you took my hand, I'm on the right way. So that was Psalm 16 in the Message translation. To me, it sounds very like a psalm kind of should, because it is a song written by David. And so that's another thing I really like about it, is because it feels very lyric driven, unlike some other translations that kind of feel like they wouldn't be made into a song. So what I really wanted to focus on is where the beginning of this chapter, where it says, tells us to not just go shopping for a God, that gods are not for sale. And David says, I swear I'll never treat God names like brand names. So this kind of reminded me of a friend that I have that she actually gave up her faith for a while, and she went around trying to find different faiths to follow because she felt like she needed to fill that void that God filled for her. And she found that no other God could fulfill inside her what Jesus Christ filled for her. So in a sense, she was going shopping for a God, and she realized that, like, you can't just buy a God, you can't just buy into a different faith. God chose you, and that's what this verse is saying. It says in the next verse, my choice is you, and now I find I'm your choice too. So that's something that my friend found, is that she found out that even though she strayed from God, when she decided to choose him again, she realized that God had already chosen her for her life. So that was something that really inspired me when talking to her about this. And I also wanted to talk about later in the chapter where it says that God gives such wise counsel when I'm awake, and it confirms that when I'm sleeping. Something that I always feel reminded of God is when I literally just can't go to sleep. If I can't fall asleep, I just sit there and think, what am I supposed to do? Why am I not going to sleep? It's because I'm not all right with God. Maybe God wants to talk to me. Maybe I need to have a conversation with him. So that verse kind of reminds me, like, next time I'm not able to fall asleep, it's because God may want to speak with me or have a conversation of some kind. Um, so now I'd like to go into kind of a bit of a discussion with a question that I have from earlier in this, where it says, I swear I'll never treat God names like brand names. Um, Something that I find myself doing when I'm going throughout my day, especially if I go to town, because obviously I'm in my house all the time, but watching TV, on the internet, anything like that, is I am bombarded with consumerism and ads and brands and things that I'm supposed to want because that thing will fulfill me. That's basically what um, big brands are trying to tell you. If you get this, it will fulfill your life. Um, so, my question is, do you ever feel like you treat God's name like a high end brand name or like something that you crave until you get it? And then you feel more fulfilled. Um, because obviously, we shouldn't be doing this. We should be treating God's name as the highest name. So this is when I would like to go into sort of a discussion. So if you'd like to unmute your